Welcome back. Trust the Process Dynasty podcast. Coming into the last week of the regular season, things are pretty shaped up well for the playoffs. We have a couple things that can move this week, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Jake, kick us off with a recap of last week.
Yeah, so last week, everything like we kind of said was pretty much set in stone, nothing too crazy. We did have one interesting upset. Tony Island took out Bordeaux. What does that mean, you may ask? Well, it leads for actually an interesting matchup going into next week. But the other thing is you were actually pretty close in your matchup with Joe. I didn't realize how close that was.
Yeah, it came down to Monday night. I was a bit nervous. I had Stephon Diggs, and he had Singletary, which normally I wouldn't be concerned about. But with that snowball they had in Buffalo, I was a little nervous going into it. So
yeah, at the end of the day, though, you did what you were supposed to do and took that W. But yeah, so everything went pretty much as expected. Looking at that matchup specifically, Tony Island just had a week. He put up 113, nothing too crazy. I think the big highlight here is this inactive we got. With that, I mean, looking at who he could have subbed in, Mike Davis, who finally did something. Even putting in a different, I think that's the best case Ontario for him. But yeah, I mean, he could have had a win. He should have won, which is unfortunate because now he has to play for something, which is some seeding.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for both teams. Before that loss, Bordeaux had the second seed due to tiebreaker, which means he gets a bye next round. Alex Collins, I think he was a late scratch there. It's tough. It's tough. Tony Island, he was trying to play for first overall seed too, so I'm sure he didn't want to win either. Yeah, tough break for him, but away she goes.
So away she goes. And now looking at our overview here of the league, I mean, when we say everything's pretty much set in stone, the playoffs are literally locked in. We got our top six. Yep. And Joe's team snuck in. Najee took one. Macon, Bordeaux, me and you, kind of what we saw throughout the season shaping up. Confirming, Stu's team is in fact a pretender after all these weeks of him talking. But no, I mean, years. Years. Pretty much straightforward. Going into next week, we'll kind of just overview the matchups. I think everything's pretty straightforward, though. Besides our one matchup we're going to talk about, does anything stick out to you?
Not really. The big thing is just the teams who should win need to win. First overall seed, J-Rod's going to have to beat you, which I don't see happening. I mean, I don't think there will be any huge shakeups here. It should be a pretty standard week. We should go into the playoffs with the rankings the way they are now.
Yeah, I mean, except for that one matchup. So the biggest thing that could happen is a flip-flop between Bordeaux and Macon. Macon needs to have a ceiling game from his guys and take down Bordeaux, and he leads the regular season, so he would leapfrog him and take the better seed. I'm giving him a better matchup in the first round.
Yeah. Whoever wins this matchup will get to avoid Najee and the Jets in the first round of playoffs, which is what you're going to want to do. I think his team's a bit scarier than Joe's team right now. So yeah, this is really the only matchup that really even matters this week.
Yeah, and we got a lot of question marks over here on Bordeaux's team too, which is I don't think anyone's in real danger of missing time. But there are definitely those question marks. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of depth, so we'll see what happens. And hopefully, it makes it interesting, gives us something to pay attention to all weekend.
Yes, sir. Not a ton going on. Kind of a lackluster last week here. I do want to give a shout out to my boys, the Detroit Lions. Not dumbass Dan Campbell, but the rest of the guys. First win. They tried to lose. They played it dumb and stupid, but the Vikings said, you know what? We're even dumber and even stupider. So yeah, shout out to the Lions. We're not going to get skunked this year. It was a big win there.
Yeah, really happy to see a win from our boys. It's been a tough decade as a Lions fan. I've been one since I was a kid, and we really haven't had too many high points. So definitely nice to see the win. But no, I think that pretty much sums it up for this week. I mean, we'll be back next week and we'll break down the playoff games, and we'll see kind of what those shake up to be.
Yeah. On that note, let's go out with a hot take. And I'm going to go right from the hip here. I'm shooting from the hip. I'm going to say the Detroit Lions score 0 points this week. They're going to lose and they're going to get goosed.
I'm not going to go that bold because my boys in blue are definitely going to go up there and give them Broncos a run for their money. But I will say I am going to call the upset. I do think Macon takes it from Bordeaux this week and gives them that what for missing that inactive and really ultimately sealing his fate. So I think Macon takes it.
It should be a good one.
For sure.
Next team, Macon has been hurting since Derrick Henry went down.
Yeah.
But he's capable of playing for, third, fourth, that area. So
yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a chip, so whatever happens underneath, it's fine.
Let the kids fight, and then they can come to the kid table and get whooped.
Yeah, then they could come get whooped up and come back next year, maybe 2 from then, maybe get me then.
So on that note, good luck, Zach. Good luck, Bordeaux. Make sure you check your lineups before kickoffs. That's it for us. Kind of a short podcast this week. Next week, we should be a little bit more in depth. We'll dive into the matchups a little more next week. So quick and easy this week.
For sure. Definitely. Take it easy.
Cool. We'll see you guys later.